Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Going out for qualifying in a late model fixed series race here at Lanier National Speedway for week 7. Fortunately did not get a strong strength of field for what I was hoping for. Typically this time slot had been a lot better than what it is today, but just going to make the most of it, try to do what I can. Car number 3, I think there's 15. Still got some guys in here that are fairly quick though, so easily could be a tougher race than I'm playing. It's not like I'm just going to be able to run away and
P3.
outrun everybody and kill them, so not a very good first lap. Typically my first lap has been quicker as well, just not driving all that great, so second lap's not going to be any better. So
That's the end of the session. P3.
if I am actually third qualified, yep, am third, not too far off, a bit of a skill difference there. At least getting to start on the inside line, that should help with the start. Sorry, making some adjustments. Got the brake bias all the way back. Ran 10 to 1 for qualifying. 14 to 1 is what I'm doing for the race. I know it is definitely faster to go with 10 to 1 or 12 to 1 than it is 14 to 1. For me, I just, for whatever reason, could not drive it without killing the tires. So for right now, I choose to give up a little speed on the front end to save tires and go with 14 to 1. Seems like I'm continuing the trend, at least as of late, of tracks that you feel like you never stop turning left in and you just start going in big circles. Oxford Plain was that way in the SK mod race. Lanier is this way. I'm hoping I can try to capitalize for whatever reason. At least in the late models, I seem to be a little better at these style of tracks. Five Flags kind of feels like it at times in the late model, and I typically can run somewhat decent in there in relation to the fastest guys. So I'm going to try to make the most of it, see if I can follow the leader off the start, get by the 5.
The track temp is 79.
Going to try to make the most of it. One thing I've noticed I can talk about quickly while we're over pace laps. I think there's three biggest areas I need to work on improving in order to pick up my pace, at least in ovals. My consistency is absolutely terrible. My laps just bounce all over the place across any series I run, so that is going to be the biggest thing I need to work on to improve my overall performance and how quick I am. I gotta obviously work on learning how to drive the car on edge a little bit more, and there was one other one too, but consistency and driving on the edge, consistency being the absolute most important. So I tried to focus a little bit on that while I was running practice in this car before. Felt like I picked up a little bit, but not drastic. So you'll probably hear me referring to that a ton while I'm running, and it's definitely going to be a big focus of mine. So, but just gonna try to do the best I can, make the most of what I've got, and try to drive the best I can and see if we can capitalize, try to finish in at least third, if not second, or try to contend for the win. So waiting for the 2 to go. Kind of lags back to try to check up the outside line. Gonna try to get to the inside, gonna watch the 5, try to contend on the outside. Gotta make sure I don't overdrive the car, but certainly want to try to capitalize and see if I can gain positions, but we're running side by side. It's kind of pinching my run off the corner. 5's looking like he wants to try to contend with the 2 on the outside. I am able to clear the 1. I will pull up the relatively soon. Just trying to get through this battle. Also got to make sure I don't give up the inside line either, because then I'll be headed to the back. Probably going to be getting contact. I think the 1's not going to be happy with where he's at. 5's able to dive down in front. I've just got to let him go. Try to ride behind. And did not hit the right button. 5 turns the 2. Tried to stay out of the 2. And we just got a gigantic mess from that. So now I'm getting stuck on the outside. Going to try to get by the 2. 3 wide call's not fun to hear. Able to get by the 2. Not sure what happened there between the 2 and the 5, if that was intentional or not. Have to take a look. Seems like the 2's, I think that's the 2 that said that. Yeah, 2's not happy with that. So unfortunately no 0x race out of this. There really wasn't much I could do with the 2 spinning right in front of me like that. We'll take a look and see if I could have bailed out of it, but certainly nothing I could do. So I would be venturing to guess that the 5 got into the 2 as a way to move him, but I could be wrong. So just time to start trying to drive clean, see if I can pull away from the 2 at all. See if I can start running down the 5. We'll check the gap this time by. Looks like it's 1.7. It was definitely a bit of a interesting lap or so there. Certainly not the way I had drawn up the start of the race at all. I wanted to keep it a lot cleaner than that, but not much I can do overall. Looks like we might be slowly catching the 5.
Your lap times are improving.
My only hope is that I can save tires a little better than him and have a little more on the back end. Pulling away from the 2 right now, so I would imagine 6 might be faster than him possibly, but we'll just have to see.
0.83. You've just done a 14.14. P2.
Just trying to click off laps, not overdrive the car, get it stopped, but still push it on the edge. Definitely catching up to the 5, so possible if I can keep going without burning up the tires that could still get there. We've got 39 laps to go this time by, so plenty of time to try to get there, but I got to make sure I also don't overdrive it off the corner. It's going to tear up the right front.
Masters ahead is now 1.31.
Definitely closing up to the 5. I will not be pulling the same move on him if he did in fact spin the 2. I will not be pulling the same move on him if I can get to him and try to get by him. I'm going to try to do that as clean as I can.
1.02.
And if that means that I finish second because of that, then that's fine. I get on the throttle a little too early out of turn 4, barely brushed the wall at the start-finish line. Just have to work on getting the car slowed down a little bit more, let it rotate through the corners a little bit better, and then pick up the throttle. Doing that's also not going to be good for the right front. You can see I'm still picking it up too early.
Lap time was 14.
Gap's kind of settled down a little bit with the 5. That's also because I'm not driving very well. Still 1.3. We'll see if it's evened out or if I can drive it a little better and start gaining on them. Probably going to be switching over to session last lap in a little while. Gap's kind of stabilized to the 2. 2's checking out from the 6, so I would say barring any problems, it's probably not going to be much worse than a 6th place or a 3rd place finish unless I'm really that bad on the tires. Problems obviously could be me tearing apart a tire or potentially getting, turned or into somebody or whatever. Haven't got the lap traffic yet. I'd like to try to catch the 5 before we get to lap traffic, but we'll see how fast we get to the 10 and the 4. The next car's up ahead. Just trying to do as good of a job as I can to get in the corners. Let the car rotate and then pick up the throttle, try to save the wear on the right front. And we've got the 4 turned around. 12 involved as well, kind of take a different entry, gets the car a little loose into the corner. Also allows me to stretch the gap out slightly on the 2 behind.
Ahead is now 1.06.
Definitely closing in on the 5. You can see that on the relative, you can see it visually, and CrewChief's calling out that closing. I pick up the throttle a little too early again. Gotta stay off of that.
14.43.
Starting to use the apron a little bit. It kind of helps the car rotate a little bit in the middle.
That lap was at 14.46.
Just trying to keep the fuel as consistent as I can, as well as keep the wear off the right-hand side tire, especially the right front. We start in lap 24, so almost halfway. Got another slow car on the inside of the 11 this time. Thankfully, he's on the bottom of the track, so it's kind of like dodging wrecks in the ARCA race, except for there's a lot less cars, so it makes it a little bit easier.
You've just done a 14.43.
Definitely pulling away from the 2 behind, so feeling like it should be a 2nd place finish.
Got plenty of fuel. That lap was at 14.
Just trying to do the best I can to close up on the 5.
Is now 1.00.
It's closing up ever so slightly as long as I don't make mistakes, but depending on how hard they're pushing the tires as well, I could still be gaining on them the back end of the run if I've done a better job of saving tires. That's what I'm really trying to set up for, is that last 10 laps or so. I'd like to keep making progress so that I have enough time to try to make a clean pass around them, but certainly, the last 15 laps, 10 laps is when I could really start to gain. You did see the 5 got into the outside wall on the back stretch a lap ago. He's definitely driving hard. Not sure how efficient he is through the corners if he's leaning on that right front. I feel like I'm starting to catch again. Slowly catching them, pulling away from the two big times, no pressure back there, so this is going to be a two-car fight for the win as of right now. Gap's kind of stabilized again. I'm barely catching them if I am. It's hundreds a lap at best. But like I said, I'm hoping that he's wearing out the right front a lot more and that you know, we'll start seeing bigger gains relatively soon as his tires start to fall off more. Although, I've got to make sure I stay out of the wall like that. 8X, not going to be a great day for the safety rating, but again, that whole incident at the beginning was really kind of avoidable, or unavoidable. I don't really know what I could have done. Getting in the wall there allows the 5 to pull away slightly. He drills the wall on the front stretch, kind of like what I did a couple laps ago. Allows me to close back up. The harder he drives, though, the more I'm going to be able to close up on tires. 15 to go this time, so really going to have to start making up a lot of progress relatively soon. We've got a couple slower cars that we'll see if they play into this at all. One of them gets out of the way, but goes to the bottom side to do it. Thankfully, it was off of the racing surface. I almost drive it too hard into the corner, get a little loose. Slowly catching the 5, but again, not really enough for what I need to be doing. Really trying to make sure I let that car roll through the center of the corner. Allows me to pick up the throttle a little bit better and not have to lift it, carry momentum down the straightaway. Definitely catching them, but am I going to get there in enough time to be able to fight as we've got 11 to go? Looks like he might have gotten a little loose into the corner, might have overdriven a little bit. I think he's probably feeling the pressure. Just doing what I can to keep the car as clean as possible. Don't get the best exit there out of turn 2. Overdrive 3 a little bit. Kind of kills the run off of 4. Not sure if I'm going to have enough time to get there, but certainly going to keep digging, try to do the best. Not sure if the 10 will come into play at all. Doesn't look like he wants to move yet, but I don't think the 5's quite there yet for the 10 to need to move. 14.57. I have an absolutely terrible 1 and 2 there. If 10 gets way out of the way, going to have to watch for him as we come out of the corner. Try to stay low to clear him. That kind of hurts me down the front stretch. Able to clear him though. Just caught the 10 at the worst time for trying to catch the 5. Got 6 to go. Gonna need a massive mistake out of the 5. I just don't think I have enough speed to get there. And I get the wall down the backstretch again, trying to drive it as hard as I can. Gap's kind of stabilized. Need to quit turning in so early. It's pinching the car in the corner and killing the run as well. Gap's opened up a little bit because of that. Right front's definitely hurt. You can see the 5 starting to pull away for a little bit.
14.68. The gap to Masters ahead is now 1.00.
Certainly trying to do all I can. Just don't think I have anywhere near enough, especially with 3 laps to go. But certainly going to do the best that I can. Trying to use the apron to get the car to rotate a little bit more so that I can try to get in. Drive it in a little too hard. That extra slide did not help. Fortunately, it looks like it's going to be a second place finish as we're going to get the 1 to go next time by.
Masters ahead is now 0.94.
And white flag this time, just gonna try to line waiting, see if he makes any mistake to be either capitalized, but looks like it's gonna be a second place finish, so.
You've just done a 14.69.
Better than where we started, better than what iRacing expected me to do, but certainly not the finish I wanted. Wanted to try to be able to get there, but I guess good drive by the 5. We'll have to take a look and see what happened, but that sucks to get an AX out of that. Really trying to do better at keeping it clean, so kind of sucks that way. Gonna drop the mic down some, it's really loud. Yeah, look at tires just to see what I did. 86, 85, so probably could have even pushed a little harder, but not terrible that way. Let's take a look at the beginning and see what happened. Really, it's going to be this. So the 5's saying that the 2 came down, we'll see. This is where we were still running 2x2. Seven, I think, is going to give me a shot going into 1 here. Yeah, a little bit there gave me a shot. I think he might have overdriven it slightly. I don't know. I don't think that was intentional to try to send me out. And this is where the wreck's going to happen, I believe. Yeah. Alright, so let's look at it from my perspective. Unfortunately, I'm going to make contact with the 2 right there. I saw it was on the brakes trying to get off, and then thought I was going to be clear. Or, excuse me. Let's watch it. So I was on the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes. Trying to stay on them, off. Probably should have continued to slow down. Thought about picking up the gas, then got off. Couldn't get back on the brake, and at that point, we were making the contact. So I'm in the car. That's when I got it. And then, unfortunately, by me going up the track to get around the 2, the 7 actually drilled the backside of me. So I believe that's where the other 4X came from. So I got 4X out of hitting the 2, and then had the issue with the 7 hitting from behind. Was able to get to the outside of the 2, get by him, but that's where that problem started. So let's take a look at this from the 2's perspective. Back that up. 2 disagrees with the 5. 5 somehow thinks the 2 came down on him. Or, yeah, so let's just back this up and see what happens. I don't know. Whew. That's, I mean, 2 is definitely taking a much wider arc into the corner and cutting down a lot more. But as you can see at that point, he's technically there. And then the 5 just doesn't care. The 5 gets into him like, I don't know. I get it, but I mean, you can't, obviously, I was trying to be cognizant of that type of move that you don't want to take that wide of an arc. So let's see if anything caused him. I think he just intended to take that wide of an arc, because nothing caused him to be loose off of turn 4, and then he just chooses to stay that high. So I think you have to be a little cognizant of that, especially off the start when we're so close together, that you don't open up that inside line for somebody like the 5 to do that. However, on lap 4, if I'm the 5 and I see him coming down, I'm probably going to be checking up a little bit more to ensure that I can stay off of him and try to keep it clean. Because from his perspective, I think he had plenty of time. I think he had enough time to realize what the 2's doing. The 2 is going to be there. You are not there yet. If you look at it, he's barely to the rear bumper, and then he just doesn't stay off of him. And at that point, you can, like I said, if we frame by frame this, you can see where he makes contact. It's with the direct left rear corner. It's the most left rear corner of it. And his nose, I don't even think his nose was to the left rear tire yet. So, my opinion, that's not his position. That's still the 2's. And if I'm him, I'm backing out and just waiting for a better opportunity to try to get by him. But that's That's just my opinion. You guys can feel free to leave your analysis, your comments. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know if you would have gotten on the brakes even harder to just try to stay behind the 2, or if that was just a no real spot to go. I mean, as soon as I cut up to go around him, I don't, with the 7 come flying it, I don't think there's really anywhere else I could go there. So you'll have to let me know what you think about that. Let's go take a look at the results. Hopefully the iRating shouldn't. That should definitely improve. Safety rating obviously is going to take a big hit, unfortunately, but only so much I can do. This was actually top split out of 4, and it was a 21-16 strength field, so I'm scared to see how low the bottom splits are. Was 100th off on the fastest lap. The 5 had that, and then about just a little under 2/10 off on average lap. So not terrible, not great, but not bad. Nobody got out of that race with anything less than 2, and all but one car had at least 4. So definitely not a clean race from that perspective. Able to gain 63 in iRating, so back over 2,600, and unfortunately lost 0.1 on the safety rating. So not in the danger of being demoted yet, but not in a good spot. Just need to try to find some clean ones, hopefully in the next week or so. Can try to find some series that allow that to be a little bit better. ARCA is going to a road course, so that will not help the oval side. Planning on running super late model open as well for the end of this week at Iowa. Maybe that'll be somewhat clean, and I can try to boost that a little bit. But certainly gonna have to try to find what I can out of it. But I don't know. I feel like really both of those were kind of unavoidable. There wasn't much I could do. But again, feel free to leave your thoughts. Let me know. I'm always looking to hear from you guys, look to improve, and to try to evaluate as much as I can, as objectively as I can. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Nice to at least get a somewhat decent finish. Of course, would have loved to get the win. Obviously would have loved to try to get to the back of the 5 and have a shot at him, but tried to make most of it and recover as best as I could after the lap 4 incident. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more races, and until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.